Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to try to teach you guys, since everybody's asking me to train them and stuff, teach them how to fight, because I throw brutal knockouts, and I'm going to tell you, it's no real secret. You either have it or you don't, but I think you can develop it, the talent, to box. I did, because I went to juvenile prison and stuff when I was like 12 years old, and I was the smallest kid, so I was fighting every day. Then I progressed through adults, and you just learn the moves. And what I want you guys to do is just watch as I throw blows and see the movement. See, boxing is not just about throwing your hands, it's about the way you move, your body, everything. So when I do that right there, it's a real powerful hit. That comes not just from your arm going out. You want to be firm, but you also want to bring that stiffness. It's about timing. It's about legs. When you're throwing a punch, most of your power is going to come, as you move, as you do that move in. Because really, to throw a knockout punch, if a guy's head is here, you don't have to swing way back and bring it. You just have to make it stiff, like that. That's what you want to do, is that snap. You see? And to do that, you see, you're making it rigid. And there's a point, there's a time in where you lock. So that right there is speed. But you also got stiffness, where you just stiff it. See, it's not like patty punch, but really jabbing it in there. It's about timing. Other than that, speed plays into it. So it's about that stiffness. But it's really hard to explain all the techniques involved, the things, but really it's about bringing it with speed and firmness, but you're catching a snap. So when you're doing that, you're making yourself rigid. You're locking your legs. Your power is really coming from there. If you don't have a good base, you're not going to have a knockout. I know I sound winded. That's because I've been working all day and I just got home. But you're working on your stiffness. So the heavy bag, what it's good for is to give you that stiffness. You see? That rigidness. And then when you bring a blow, you're bringing speed into it. But you want to lock everything. So when you're hitting, you want it to be a steel bar like. You see? You catch them one way, then another way. With speed, you're just trying to get the speed. You're not really trying to do the knockout, you're just setting the dude up for the blow. So there's some pointers for you. On that, you'll have to learn how to move, because it's about movement, boxing is. So whoever could dance, you could box. Whew. My dog's going crazy. Ain't you? Come here. Come here. Come here, buddy. Say hello, man. Say hello. Mad boy. We're just doing boxing, so you're going to be doing the speed of everything. Learn your punches. That right there, you're just bringing it around. You see, you're bringing, but you're trying to bring it with speed. It's speed that's going to really give you the knockout, right? But you also need speed without a firm foundation. It's not going to get you anywhere. Speed with that rigid when you hit. Because, you have speed and no firm foundation. There's a lot of guys like that. Bernard Lewis in juveniles, one dude at convention, they called him shotgun. And he could throw fast. He could sit there. But you see, he didn't have any authority behind those punches where you could just take those licks. Then you had a dude like Alex Punch who just go to knock your head off and all. It's a different ball game. Because he had that firm foundation. And that really comes, just like they train you in boxing. You want your balance, and you want that firm rigid stance. And with that, you'll be able to stand up the punches. Of course, you'd have to stand up the punches. You're going to get hit. So if you can't take a hit, then I don't think you'll be a good fighter, a good boxer in general, anything like that, because you have to take the punches. But the most important thing is when there's a punch, you have to defend yourself. So you throw up what I call cage, just like that. You throw that up and nobody can get in. So when you get in trouble, you throw your guard up. You don't let them get in, tuck your chin and everything, and move around it. And like that, you could hit me all day like this. Then when you get worn out, I'm going to start hitting. So practice with the heavy bat. And right now, I'm not sitting there trying to... Oh, the chain just whacked me, man. But that's all right. Right now, I'm not trying to go off, and I'm practicing my motion, my moves. And that's what you want to do, is practice the way you're hitting, keeping your guard up. So you don't want to be hitting like this, opening yourself up to take a hit, because a good boxer just got to go in there and drop you. So keep your guard up, hit with authority, and that's that firmness. That's what you want to do. That was a little bit wide, but you can open yourself up. Like, you see, that was a trick. So I'm just opening up and then flinging. So in boxing, you'll have tricks. And that's the thing where you'll have to be, it comes in, you're either a natural or not. The way you're going to trick somebody. Because, you do this. All right, let's say we're throwing a left punch and come with the right. You just move like you're throwing left, but immediately come with the right. You're going to go in because the dude's expecting a left. Or you do it reverse, where you're like, you come with the fucking left, sorry about the F, but instead of right. But you'll be practicing everything here. And you're looking at that bag, and that's your opponent. And one of the best punches is the uppercut. You come up like that. But on this bag, you'd have to go low there. You can do that, Here's that chain again. But you'll be practicing basically. And your balance. You don't want to be throwing punches, getting off balance. But the real trick of it really is to just get in there like I do. I fight every weekend. I'm 46 and I still fight every weekend. That's what keeps you in shape. When you can just back down, and not back down, but you know what I mean, just stand up to guys and actually make them back down. The reason I say back down is because one of my favorite techniques is using defense as a stepping stone for offense. And what I mean by that is by stepping backwards, I could also fling a punch at the same time. Because normally when you're stepping back, that's a defensive maneuver where the person attacking you sees that as you're backing up. To suck him in, he's going to jump in on you because you're backing up. He's thinking you're trying to get away, so he's taking that as a weakness, like. So you sucker a guy in by backing up, but at the same time, throw a punch. And what I mean is to say is this: is as you move back, you fling it. And in boxing, it's all about catching somebody with that one punch, and it comes by surprise. So you could fling the right, just like that, under. And the other thing is, don't be stuck to the traditions where you're doing traditional jabs. Learn to throw a punch from anywhere. So if I'm going here, throw it from there. Or go here and throw it from there. Or whatever. You learn to punch from anywhere. And one of the best ones, I think, in terms of punching is, this backhand stuff like that. Or spinning backhand like that. Because those, when you're spinning, don't expect that. But what you'll want to do to set that up is use like a left to spin around. Because he sees the left coming, but you're spinning around. It's always about getting that one surprise punch. Phasing the guy. Then after that, it's just a killer animal instinct. When you're in a fight, if you're any fighter, you automatically annihilate the opponent. The moment you see that one hit, get him, you're going to try to take him out right then. But the thing is, you have to be able to make your hits count. If you're going to fight and you're going to just go in there, you know, like this and stuff like that, that's not going to work. You're not going to hurt nobody. You're not really, it's not going to work. You have to practice, you know, hitting with solid things. And that means hitting the center, as you can see. Here's the fist, it's hitting the center of the bag. Or if I'm coming from the right, it's hitting the center. So that's what you need to practice, and that's even with your opponent. You're going to be hitting the center. And same thing defensively. If a dude's going to hit you, you're turning your head. Because by turning your head, you're making his punch bounce off. By hitting the center, you're getting a solid BAM, you know? You see what I'm saying? You're getting it solid at the center. As you hit off to the sides, it's more like a ricochet. You guys can see that, right? Off to the side here, this is the center. Watch. You can even hear it. All right? We're going to go off to the side now. You see your punch slides off. It's a ricochet. And so that's the same thing defensively. When you turn your head and the dude's punch, you turn your head just a little, it makes the blow glance off you. Don't ever. And that's even in Wing Chun. If you studied Wing Chun, you got the stance like this. You're protecting your center line. Here or whatever, your center line. If somebody hits me in the center line and it's a good punch, you're going to be phased if the dude can really hit. I mean, say Mike Tyson hit you right on the center. I don't think you're going to stand. Everything's going to be out of you. Your knees are going to, there's no way you can stand that. That guy could really hit. And when you hit your center, and that's what you're trying to do. So that's what you're practicing. And right now, you know, when you're practicing, you don't want to really bring up the speed. What you're trying to do is practice hitting that center on time. You see? And it's really your jab that's really going to do most of your work right there. When you're just flinging it out. And that's what I mean, you're practicing that. Where you're hitting it with power. Can you hear the whole roof shake? So, I think I've showed you enough corners. I'm tired as hell. I do steel work. And we've lifted a ton of steel today. But I thought I'd come home and make this video because I was thinking of it last night. But my buddy was using the bag. And I had to go to work, so I fell asleep. But, you know, since a lot of people asked me to teach you how to fight, I thought I'd just make a video, give you some pointers, let you think about it. I think every one of y'all is smart enough to figure out how to take the guidance, the little words, and kind of see some kind of insight, take it and run with it and become better. But, you know, those are 16-ounce gloves. That's the other thing is when you're using 16-ounce gloves, that's a good thing because it's weight. So, you know, when you don't have the gloves on, mind you, you'll be hurting your fist. If you could really hit real fast, that's the danger. Is your hands also have to take those punches, the forces that you're bringing. So if I were to blast this thing, you know, fast as I could, hard as I could, I usually injure my wrist somewhere. So be wary of that. And that's the other best defense too, is use your head. When you're fighting, just put your head down, cover up. This is how I cover up, you know, and let the guy hit your head. I've been in so many fights like that. Guys that could really fight, really hit hard, and you just tuck up, let them hit your head, and they break their hand. And there's a guy in Florida, Clifford Simpson. He was like a champion boxer in one of the worst prisons there. And me and him got in a fight, and that's just what happened. Is I didn't realize he could fight because it took him a little while to sucker him into fighting me. But when he stood up, man, I realized, you know, I made a mistake because as soon as we stood toe to toe, mind you, I thought he was a coward or whatever like that. I didn't really have my guard up. But as soon as we stood up, that guy just pop, pop, 2 punches. One here on the chin. Then I was going down, he hit right here. But I went down on my knees and it was like yellow stars. And I was like, I'm not going to get knocked out. I stood back up. And that's what it was. He broke his hand. So the rest of the fight, I tore him up because he couldn't use his right hand. And that come from hitting too hard. So there's a danger of that where if you're fighting and you're boxing like that, and you hit somebody and you injure your hand, mind you, you'll be one-handed fighter. The other guy, just like I did with Clifford, the rest of the fight I controlled that because he was one-handed. So always be thinking of the consequences of everything you do, but generally, these are how your punches are supposed to look. I'm not trying to injure my hand, so I'm just showing you the moves. You're doing that twist, you see, that twist, and your leg's kind of twisting behind you because you're driving, and you're twisting your hip. So one of the reasons of my knockouts is, look at the muscles there. That's where your power's coming from. And that's what you're trying to connect on time is, bring that. And one of my most devastating punches, is coming like that. And there you turn your leg in, but you're twisting. And one of the ways I like to do it is bring it up, like an uppercut. That's one of my favorite things is going up and under. Because most defenses concentrate on the side and the front. And you can come under and bang! But to do that, you'd have to fake them high and then come low or something like that to really get it in there. But other than that, practice on your time and your speed, and hitting that center. Keeping your guard up, bringing your hands quick. Those are the pointers I'm going to give you today. I'm going to have to go and get showered up, everything. Shaved. My age is showing. I'm like 46, but hey, this is probably the best workout in the world. The heavy bag. That thing will keep you cut. And I do steel work, so I lift weights, but I used to be 93 kilos. I'm like 75 now. But, I'm not the same size I used to be, but I'm going to tell you, size slows you down. You're better off being your natural weight, slender, skinny, practice your moves. And what I mean by moves is everything. You'll be fading back, because when a dude's going to punch, you fade back, you rock back. But like I said, as you rock back, bring a punch. So at the same time you rock back, you're also throwing forward. So that's what I mean by practice your moves is as you slide back, also fling forward. You're getting your head out the way, but at the same time, you see, by that twist, you're bringing your hand forward. So anytime you're moving your head, you're bringing a punch too. And that's one of the way boxers do it anyways. When you move the head, you see, I'm just exaggerating there. When you move the head, you're also doing a punch. Because that's what you're doing. You're moving the head, but bring it. And not just from the side, not straight, but also under. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap that up. Maybe some of you need to get showered up also. If you're a good-looking girl, you're welcome to shower with me anytime. Anyways, adios, amigos.